Sometimes I forget just how much emotional suppression goes on. Just how much people are suppressing emotions, denying their true feelings, masking the truth from themselves, making justifications. It's an addiction to chronic suppression. I find it hard to deal with that, and so I suppose my advice to myself today, and anything that I'm mentioning throughout this video, is that if you're not addicted to chronic emotional suppression, if you are feeling things not only for yourself but for the collective, you're feeling it because you know feeling it is the only way through it. You know that the emotions coming up, it's a good thing. Like, it allows it to come up, pass through, and you can release it. And the more of these emotions that you release, the lighter you become. Because what we mean by density is essentially just pockets of collected negativity or emotions or things that are trapped in our energy field. The only way through it is to feel it, to go through it. So when you're somebody that is feeling it, my advice would be to find environments that support you through this. Others that you can relate to, that understand this, that you could speak to about it. Environments that are safe in order for those emotions to come through. Environments that are fluid and in motion, that shift with the energies, where you can dance and sing and move and speak and purge and be. The hardest places to be are those that are dense and stuck and limited in their patterns and their paradigms. They don't change because everybody refuses to purge those attachments. They refuse to really take a good, honest look at the limitations and the patterns that they are living in. And maybe they can't. But I've found more often than not, it's simply an addiction to suppression. Having grown up, seeing people that you know cope with emotions, with things like alcohol or cigarettes, or ignoring things or suppressing them, or bursting out in anger when all you really wanted to do was cry. Having grown up watching people chronically suppress things like this means that these same patterns get passed on to children and their children. Patterns of not really feeling what you feel or dealing with it, being able to heal and cope. And I've realized that all I could do is do myself and share what I share for whichever ears are listening. But when it comes to finding myself right in between, like the target, I find myself in between somebody and their denial, somebody and their justification, somebody and their addiction. It never ends well, because I can see it, and it's not just seeing it in them, it's because I could see it in myself. I've been through my own darkness and my own addictions and my own shadow. I've braved it and faced it. And one of the tenets that I walk by is the truth. The truth, even if it hurts. The truth of myself. What thoughts and emotions I have, how I feel about things. And if I don't know, I ask to know when it comes up. Functioning from that paradigm means that more often than not, I have a clue as to what people are feeling around certain topics. But I find that when they're not ready to face these things, obviously they're not going to face them, and they speak from kind of a twisted logic realm, a lot of manipulation and denial, because that's exactly what they're dealing out to themselves. In order to deny something or pretend it's not there, so many different walls have to come up, and so many little things have to change in your words and your attitudes. It's like gaslighting, where a version of reality that you have experienced is manipulated by somebody else to make you feel like that wasn't true. Now, gaslighting can be done to oneself, and I've noticed that it's particularly common with suppression and denial. You gaslight yourself into believing that what you think isn't real, or the way that you feel about something isn't the way that you feel about it. I just wanted to come on here really quick and say that it's exceptionally difficult to deal with those environments and those circumstances and those types of people. And a lot of the times we stay dealing with these kinds of things for various attachments, like, oh, it's family, or, I owe this person something, or this is the way it is. But I think if you aim to change in your life and rise and let go of these emotions and heal, then in a way you have to be willing to, as I've said in a previous video, rise past other people's limitations, because you're rising past your limitations, but your limitations don't end where they start. You can go as far as you want. Actually, it's not quantifiable. We're ever expanding, growing, evolving pieces of art. I just want to encourage you today to dare to go as far as you like, and not to be trapped into these paradigms and realities, because that's exactly what's been happening for so long. The energy doesn't shift, the same patterns get regurgitated, and so the same structures are put in place. And people, different as they are across the generations, are very similar because they do the same things and believe the same things and reinforce the same things. So I guess this message is not only for those navigating this, but also for you who's chronically suppressing these emotions, hiding them beneath masks, and only allowing them to come out when your guard is let down. Understand that you will face them sooner or later. It's not going to be pretty. So, with that, I just want to say that the card popping up in my mind right now is a Tower card. Things have to fall apart completely before something new can come in. Not everyone's ready for that. And I mean, I'm just kind of confused about, like, who said life was supposed to be comfortable. Like, I'm quite confused on this point. Like, who said that it needed to be cushioned and comfortable and safe and secure? Like, the ego said this, but what is the actual guarantee that it's just meant to not challenge you in any way, not bring up your own bullshit for you to look at, not trigger you? There is no guarantee that it's meant to be cushy and prevent you from facing the true shadows. But this is part of the collective unconsciousness on the face of the earth right now. What we have, through generations and generations, all of us suppressed in humanity and not understood, and it got pushed down into the subconscious of the collective. And essentially all of these different plays playing out in people's actions, and a lot of suffering on the face of the earth, it's all part of these things that we have suppressed and refused to see. So for every single one of you that is facing your darkness, understand that you are lighting up a massive corner of the entire grid. Like, your work is just to be you, to have your commitment to be yourself, to honor yourself, to face and navigate your own shadows, and begin to wield your light. That is all that you need to do. The other aspects of trying to convince people not to deny or suppress or lie to themselves or gaslight you or themselves is, I don't think that's part of the package. Like, you just speak your voice, play your tune, and do it for the collective by doing it for yourself. Because you will come up against so many people that will literally tell you they'd rather die than cut those attachments. They need those attachments. They need to remain in some form of slavery. Because it's easier, it's more comfortable to lose your soul. But these are the times that we live in right now. It's just so much easier to face a made-up lie than it is to look at the face of the truth. And At the end of the day, this addiction to chronic suppression, it's fueled by various things in our lives. They know that you need these things in order to cope. They know that we have emotions. We all have emotions. I mean, let's just make a basic comment about how young boys and girls are born into this world, and at a certain age, or even from very young, a little boy will be told not to cry. That's not manly. He can't have emotions. Well, he's going to have emotions. Every moment, every day, he's human. We all feel. So that's just one example of paradigm lockdowns that are placed on beings of light, which is us. It's children that come into the world with vision and gifts and passion and joy and so much love. So my message for future generations and what's going on right now is teach your children to deal with their emotions in a healthful way. And if for whatever reason they don't have good role models of that because you're not able to deal with your emotions, it's your responsibility to become literate on that, to understand that you are suppressing or you're dealing with things unhealthfully. It's your responsibility in so much as you decide that that's your path and that's what you want to do. I speak now for those that long to change, maybe are reaching for the how or why, perhaps are already implementing this change. I speak for those in the generations to come, the children that need a safe space to feel and heal and express themselves and their emotions. And I also do speak for those stuck in paradigms of rot. I see you. I feel what you refuse to feel. And I know the magnitude of it. I'm rooting for you too. Because simply, may all beings be free. May all beings be free of every lockdown, attachment, paradigm, suffering, fear, pain, lie. May all beings be free. From my heart to yours.